So, lads, today we have to talk about Caitlin Clark. We have to talk about the Indiana Fever with Caitlin Clark. And this is a discussion we have to have. And should the Indiana Fever trade Caitlin Clark? And you might be saying, oh, they'd be dumb to do that. They'd be losing all of this money. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that fully. But at the same time, they're going to lose that money anyway very soon. Like, people don't do they think that people that people showing up to games are Caitlin Clark fans? Because people showing up to games are Caitlin Clark fans because of non-basketball reasons? Let's be real. There's a reason why people don't show up really to watch Paige Bueckers. There's a reason why people don't show up to watch Angel Reese, because no offense to them, they're not fun to watch play basketball. They're not. They're good. They're both good players. Angel's killing it. And both Angel Reese, all three of Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and Paige Bueckers have similarly large social media followings. They all have really large social media followings. So do they think that because Caitlin Clark is a celebrity that people are going to come and watch? It's not going to happen. People watch Caitlin Clark for the basketball. There's a reason why. There's a reason why post-Olympics, Caitlin Clark and the Fever became the best show in sports. There's a reason why. And it's because of it's because of 100% basketball. And I think that they're very much mistaken in the fact that they think that everything's going to be okay if the basketball turns to shit. And long term for the Fever, it won't. Like, the Fever, obviously, we know the Fever need to make a choice. And I think the Fever they're going to make the choice. This is the choice I think the Fever are going to make, by the way. I think they're going to choose to keep Stephanie White and live and try to turn Caitlin Clark into a worse version of Paige Bueckers. I think that's the goal. And I mean this. If you plan on keeping Stephanie White past this year, and let's be real, Kelly Krauskopf and Amber Cox probably do. What you need to do is call up Kurt Miller and go, yo, we will give you Caitlin Clark. We will give you Caitlin Clark. And you give us Paige Bueckers and your first round pick. And then Dallas say no. And Dallas come back with, you want a player to play your style? You want a player to play your style of play? We'll give you Paige Bueckers, but you are taking, what's her name? You're taking Maisha Hines-Allen. Or you're taking Tiara McCown. You're getting Paige and one of those two, and you can get Caitlin, and we can take Caitlin Clark. Because let's be real. A Caitlin sprinting up with a Rike by her side makes the Wings better. It makes both teams better. Caitlin beside JJ Quinterly, with JJ Quinterly as a dog. Because even with Caitlin Clark playing off the ball with Quinterly just sprints. If Caitlin runs with Quinterly, and Quinterly's going to be on their wing, one, Isaiah James another wing, Louisa Geisel-Soder there with her. Like, they can figure something out. They could figure something out for the Fever why their fans will still keep showing up, and they could get off Caitlin Clark and get better as a team with Stephanie White as a coach. Because right now, there's no scenario where Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White are either of these things, by the way. Either of these things. A good basketball team or a fun basketball team. Neither. There is no scenario that Caitlin with Stephanie White are either a good team or a fun team. They are guaranteed to be neither of them. They're going to be bad and boring with her. And it's going to take away from Caitlin Clark. If you get rid of Stephanie White, you're going to be at least fun. If they can't get worse, they can't get worse as a coach. Like, they cannot get worse. But at the end of the day, they'll get better, like, if they get rid of Caitlin Clark for a player that fits better. They're not better without Caitlin Clark, But if they swapped Caitlin Clark for Paige, by the way, I think Dallas would be a playoff team if you swap Caitlin Clark for Paige. But the Fever get better with Paige because of the BS system Stephanie White wants to play. This egalitarian offense. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Like, but at the end of the day, they have to consider it. They have to, for the good of the sport, they have to consider it. And that's only if they're not going to get rid of Stephanie White, because it is one or the other. It is one or the other. And you have to take into account that they're probably not going to move off Stephanie White. Like, Kelly Krauskopf and Amber Cox's Kelly Krauskopf especially, her loyalty is towards Stephanie White. Her loyalty is towards Natasha Howard. They're probably pissed, by the way. They're all probably pissed at the DeWanna Bonner situation. And not in the way we think. A lot of people are like, oh, Kelly's probably really pissed at Amber Cox Stephanie White. Because Stephanie White brought DeWanna Bonner in. I think they're probably pissed because the style of play that Caitlin Clark was trying to play did not suit DeWanna Bonner. And that when Caitlin Clark was on the floor, it was really hard to play DeWanna Bonner in the way they wanted to play DeWanna Bonner. And eventually DeWanna Bonner asked to leave. I fully believe that there is a good chance that the front office are not pissed with DeWanna Bonner at all. That the front office might have just said, look, having Caitlin Clark in there lost us DeWanna Bonner. It lost us, I don't know, it's probably caused us too much grief. We're getting a bunch of abuse on social media for keeping Bree Turner. Stephanie White has been successful as a coach. This is the worst Stephanie White's had a team in the WNBA. Like, as a WNBA coach, Stephanie White, this is the least success she's ever had. And they're like, you know what? Stephanie White has made a finals. In her last 3 full seasons as a WNBA coach, she made a finals. She made 2 semifinals, and this team isn't going to do that. So there is a scenario where they're just going to say, you know what, we're going to side with Stephanie White. But then obviously the owner is not going to let them trade Caitlin Clark. The owner is not going to let them trade Caitlin Clark. So I think we're now going to get into a situation where Caitlin Clark is basically just the mascot. Where she's the mascot. She's there to sell tickets. She's there to sell jerseys. She's there for their social media campaign. And let's be honest, I don't know if she's there for basketball reasons. I genuinely don't think she's there for basketball reasons. Because, let's be honest, Caitlin Clark spent yesterday setting screens while Ari McDonald played 18 first half minutes. As good as Ari McDonald is, the third string point guard who got cut by the second worst team in the WNBA, has more of a role in our offense than Caitlin Clark. And that's not ideal at all. That's not ideal at all. And with that being the case, I think they have to at least consider it. I don't think they make the trade. I don't think they pull the trigger on the trade. It has to at least be considered. It has to at least be considered. But yeah, at the end of the day, look, I don't think anything's going to happen. I think the Fever are going to continue to bore teams. I think the Fever's movement, I think the Fever's viewership is going to, outside of when Caitlin plays Angel or Caitlin plays Paige, I think the viewership is going to steadily drop as the season goes on. And I think whereas we saw last year, nearly every game was breaking record viewership. I think this year we're looking at we're probably going to be looking at games with dwindling viewership, which is a really bad trajectory for the league to be on. And not only that, the Fever are screwing with the CBA. Either way, I'll see you guys.